How are we doing today, Starseeds? Today this reading is going to be covering how the Ascension Energies from the new moon that just occurred a few days ago on the 5th will be affecting us for about the next 3 weeks or so, I'm being told by Spirit. Check the description just down below after the video to find links to some of my services and offers. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the reading. So although the first card is the Tower and it may seem like a bad omen, this is actually entailing great news for our Starseed collective. The huge bolt of lightning crashing down onto the tree from the heavens actually feels indicative of God's wrath coming down, that being the bolt of lightning, and destroying the entire Age of Pisces era, that being the tree, that's been deliberately keeping our chakras tethered to all the wrong people, making us repeat the worst karmic situations, and to basically fight for survival while ascending at the same time, as if we're in the Hunger Games arena. With this, I'm feeling intense, overwhelming emotions coming from not just us starseeds, but also from everyone that we're finally being separated from, whether they be so-called former friends, coworkers, bosses, or even so-called relatives, which are usually the worst in terms of keeping you bound, honestly. And the reason why the enemy would be extremely emotional over this huge severing of ties is due to the codependent relationship through the form of a parasitic entity attachment to us that is now breaking after likely several years of this toxic karmic connection being bonded. The reason why we would be highly emotional during this period is because we are not only experiencing the same thing from our personal end, but we are also experiencing the major shift out of an entire paradigm through our bodies simultaneously. This is one of the main reasons why the Bible states that our cup shall runneth over once we make it through our trials and into paradise, and it's because of the intense demands that are required of us as human hybrids incarnate to get into our feminine energy, our masculine energy of course as well, to take on the role of a divine feminine goddess, even if you're a male in this high divine feminine position, to take Mother Earth's hand, aspects of the universes as well, and go through all kinds of intense, highly demanding shifts within our own internal universe, causing us to have periodic deaths and rebirths along with the Great All ritualistically. So when I say that we are true, real deal heroes sent here from up above to save humanity, and when God says himself that you are a chosen one, you best believe it to be true. Although all of us in this group that I'm speaking of are old hands at these sort of intense portals, where it feels like anything bad could happen at any given time, I'm still feeling a significant amount of anxiety and fears from the huge closure taking place on an internal and external level, being conveyed through the squirrel that's perched up on his legs, watching the whole world, the huge tree for him in this case, collapse and be destroyed King Kong style, right before his very eyes. I also feel that it is significant enough to ask Spirit for it to be cleared as much as possible so that more relief, clarity, and certainty can begin to seep in and replace the unnecessary fears, inner chaos, and uncertainty, which I'm going to do right now. So if you'd like some relief to help support you throughout this topsy-turvy, pivotal period of great shakeups, just say yes and it is yours to be had. To bring you even more relief and ease, the soft orb of light circling the center of the tree feels representative of light coats from the new moon, centered to also provide our spirits with more calm and clarity regarding what's actually taking place, an extra sense of peace, reassurance that we've successfully made it, as well as heart and soul depth from the huge emotional purge and overhaul set to occur within us from the great collapse. So just as always, healing and upgrading will also be had from this new moon period, as I am feeling another ascension of our light bodies, souls, and consciousness being earned as a result of all of this hard work from this energetically demanding transition. Upgrades and healing in the crown chakra will also be had, providing us with the promotion of wisdom and also kingship and queenship, as I also just saw a visual of an actual golden, shimmery crown being lowered down onto our heads from the ethers, which came along with the most heavenly regal energies as well, reminding us of who we are as lit up, highly enlivened, absolutely timeless, royal, eternal angelic starseed human beings. This is also meant to be a marker to us that we are now official graduates from the Earth School Game of Life program, which I actually just felt come over me very strongly as a confirmation to us being official graduates, that we have actually become an ascended master on Earth, that we have done all we've needed and then some to help shift the universe forward past all of the blocks placed in the way, and that we are now entirely, totally, eternally, and infinitely free. Now, after we settle into the new energy and atmosphere, and when all of humanity does the same, which shouldn't take long at all, I'm being told, we will be officially prepared to frolic, play, create, and innovate as much as we so please as reborn Starseed kids in the New Earth Age of Aquarius timeline, which I also call the second childhood, due to the fact that we'll be entirely freed from upholding karma for our families, for our ancestors, ancient history, the entire universe, and because we'll also be plugged into an entirely new station, that being the 5D station, allowing us to have the consciousness and energy to move mountains like Spy Kids if we so dare. So do you see how the new Earth is a place for kids to be kids, and is the ultimate destination that we've been traveling to since childhood? Which is why when adults come to this full realization, especially in the form of an epiphany, they can see just how controlled we are by this system that swears it loves us, and how we somehow sold our precious souls to the beast controlling it, in order to become boring, lifeless, bitter, superficial, unenlivened, unconscious, stressed out, programmed adult slaves instead. However, this is exactly what we're reversing, as it doesn't quite make any sense, right? Magic is where it's at, y'all, and what the fight is truly over. So if you're an adult starseed watching this and have realized that your soul has been kidnapped by the invisible beast operating our world, that you've been flipped into this sort of alternate version of the life that you had as a child, or even that you somehow sold your soul to the beast unconsciously for any given reason while growing up, I'm intending that you can feel the difference between a programmed, constricted human being versus a real, free, awakened, entirely conscious starseed adult kid right now, who knows that fun, joy, and positivity is what true heaven is, so that you may begin to gradually convert from that distorted, inverted, backwards, satanic, far from the truth side ASAP. With the Hanged Man, I'm immediately feeling the energies of being lost in thought, as well as deeply reflecting, which is in perfect alignment with the theme of reflecting on the past, nostalgia, and deep introspection. Along with this, I am also feeling thoughts and emotions circulating within the young woman suspended upside down's head, of her just thinking to herself, why am I still in this position? Haven't I done all I've needed to do? And after all I've been through, what's taking so long? With this is also a sensation of her thrusting her chest forward, as if she just wants to swing off of the band that holds her and right into her future already, full speed ahead, and I'm also feeling her mouth opening up to let out a huge yell due to the fact that her period of oppression and remaining silent in this area is finally over. For some of you, I'm feeling that it's because you now want to stand up to your oppressors and shut down the circus show of karma that they've been putting on and deciding to include you into once and for all. These feelings usually come to the surface whenever we're in tight portals like the one we're in now, where time becomes distorted due to the wormhole that we're traveling through to get to a certain destination that has a specific theme to it every time too as well, causing inner turbulence, chaos, confusion, constriction, anxiety, etc., as if it's our first time on an airplane and it's flying very erratically for whatever reason. From the bird's eye view perspective, once you understand it this way, you'll be able to see that it's sort of like time screwing, raping, or beating you due to the pain, the death and rebirth, and the rite of passage that you have to go through in order to be inducted to the other side. However, despite all of these feelings of inner chaos, just as I mentioned in the reading for Twin Flames, this group that I'm referring to truly are already old hands at crazy shifts like these, so you have everything it takes and more to get through this somewhat small transition like you've done time and time again. Just like with the tower, we are having some help to support us through these intense, chaotic emotions that I know we're so over experiencing, as the energies of senioritis came through a couple times in one of these past readings, and this is showing up as the light codes from the new moon downloading into our third eye, which it feels like the light is doing to the woman in the image, and providing us with an extra sense of power and knowing during this time frame to remind us of our sovereignty and to also provide us with an extra boost of this as well. This clear sense of knowing should also help to remove illusions from your mind that's making you feel overlooked or unworthy during this period as well, as the impatience that you'll likely feel during this time frame from the portal energies would surely unnecessarily make the stress that you're already experiencing that much worse without this clear inner knowing of the truth being integrated to help you. In addition, I am also feeling the third eye receiving another upgrade, just as it usually does during new moon cycles, which is helping us with the theme of letting the past go, seeing through illusions, moving on, and I'm also feeling to believe in ourselves, because there is still lightness to this, as this is what the fight is all about, and what we're trying to fully get back to in order to live our biggest, most wildest dreams happily, freely, and blissfully. The heart chakra is also receiving upgrades in this area of believing in ourselves as well, as what usually happens whenever our third eye receives an upgrade due to their important connection to each other, and this is in order to help support the third eye upgrade as a whole. It actually feels like the girl's heart just burst open with a huge amount of passion that's just been buried inside for so long now. So this is definitely a period where believing in yourself matters and will be emphasized by the energies as part of the overflow of abundance that's been withheld from us until we make it through our hero's journey. Is our full permission to create whatever we want as natural artists and creators, aka gods on earth, and pursue our dreams. Her arm extending down towards the water beneath her feels as if it's telling us to reach as high as we wish to, just like when we were a child, and to know that they are never too tall or impossible to attain for a literal starseed. I mean, it's in the name, duh. And lastly, the moon card is plainly and simply about saying goodbye, which is a follow-up to the Ascension Energies video that I just made for Starseeds about 2 weeks ago on my channel, which it looks and feels like the woman is doing in the illustration as she gradually sinks down towards the bottom of the body of water that she's in. Along with this, I'm feeling honest energies of the most extraordinary, catastrophic collapse of the age of Pisces in its entire matrix beast system, and the water feels very symbolic of the huge tsunami of emotions due to overcome the collective because of the insane overhaul of karma and ancient history that we're letting go of. So this new moon is most definitely in conjunction with the Solstice Gateway portal that just opened June 20th and is very much beyond us in our own personal, typical Ascension Process flow structure, as this overhaul will now include all of humanity this time, meaning that this portal is in direct correlation with the world shift into the new Earth Age of Aquarius timeline, aka the Rapture, and the naysayers of God and his children getting left behind in the dust, Spirit said, for we have much better places to be. But this is still emotionally intense for us Starseeds because the age of Pisces and everyone who has no problem with it remaining is all we've known since we've been born. However, so much better is awaiting us on the other side, so just trust, I'm feeling to say, that the past must go for a great reason, that this too shall pass, that you are safe and protected, I'm also feeling to say, and that you're a freaking champion. Everyone who had fun bringing all kinds of unfair, unnecessary chaos, drama, and karma to our lives, doing their best to rain on our parade and make our realities great like theirs truly is, will be dealt with during this splitting of timelines, as I felt this huge sort of low blow dis-energy hitting the woman, representing a starseed, as if she just got shot with a bullet as she sinks to the bottom, representing all of the terrible bullying, neglect, slander, and trauma that we've had to suffer through. And it felt like God's eye, represented by the moon, was watching the naysayers the entire time, representing the wolves, aka wolves in sheep's clothing, just waiting for the chance to punish them with all of his wrath, Spirit said, when time comes for the Revelations Judgment Day event. So as I've mentioned in prior videos, although extremely unfair, and Spirit sees it this way too, as well as lonely, scary, and even seemingly dangerous it is to be an undercover spy kid warrior for God, we are still safe and protected as Royal Jehovah's Witnesses, here to witness the poor behavior of the evilest people, and this is because the experience and information that we gather from the opposing side puts it on their permanent record, Spirit said, and makes their punishment so much stronger because they didn't know that you were secretly a royal, sacred, undercover representative of God. So this is where the flip goes into the big 180 flip, as it is a complete and total flip of power, so that the ones who have been reigning supreme at the top as false god pharaohs and Jezebels for so long over God's children will have no choice but to have revelations about how they abuse their power for evil purposes, and then etherically switch places with good people, with good hearts, good plans, and lots of common sense. If you look at it from that perspective, it is actually them that is sinking down to the bottom of the ocean, aka hell, and us that are above the tide, howling at the moon, wild and free as we've rightfully earned, ready for our overwhelmingly exciting, fulfilling futures. We win, guys, just like God always does. The stars up above actually looked as if they were twinkling, and then actually felt like they were the exact essence of a pure, untouched, unscathed starseed child, which honestly brought tears to my eyes that I'm having to choke back. So this is backing up what I just said regarding the devil and his minions sinking to the bottom and us switching to the top where we were originally and always intended to be. Once this major event takes place, true logic, life, fairness, equality, peace, and color will then restore to the entire world's population because the perpetual dark cloud, Spirit said, that was constantly cloaking our happiness, sunshine, optimism, perspective, energy, and so much more would have finally been removed. Again, this is all thanks to us and our badass selves. So let that remind you of how powerful and special of a literal alien hybrid being that you are on Mother Earth during this major transitional period. All three cards today were major arcanas, emphasizing just how serious, epic, and long awaited of an event this is. But don't forget that you, as an ascended master on Earth, are above these energies and that you are the event, so that you won't feel overpowered by it all, just like Neo and the crew in the Matrix films if you've ever seen them. Thanks so much for tuning in. Check the description for info on my services and offers. Like and subscribe if you like future content from me. Have a great new moon, Starseeds, and stay blessed. Bye.